Well, something a bit different today. Due to staff shortages, etc., I'm running solo, which isn't the best of things when you're doing home delivery. But I thought I'd take the opportunity to film my day at work. It's a bit different. Right, I couldn't film the first couple of jobs because they were time sensitive and rushing about like a lunatic, but I still have this lot to do. So the first couple, just get up out this, wheel spin, a bit rough, onto the main road. Yeah, the first couple were just locals in the town here, so knocked them off. I started just before 8. We are just coming up to 9 now, and my next call is Pevensey Bay.
After 200 yards,
oh, there's sat nav.
right, then bear left.
Okay, so calling Pevensey Bay next. So I've now got to head along the coast to the west. It's about half hour's drive or so,
Then bear left.
and that is a fitted bedroom, which is going to be a pain in the arse because it's, you know, a completely flat packed type situation where you have a like professional bedroom fitter come in and assemble it all. So I've got about 80 plus panels and pieces on the back. I'm on my own, of course, today, so I've got to carry all them in. That's going to be a bit knackery. It all depends on what the place is like. If I get there and it's a townhouse and I'm carrying it all up 2-3 stories, I'm going to be there a long time. Oh, come on, you muppets, get out of the way. Ideal scenario, it's a bungalow and I don't have any stairs. It'll make life a lot easier and a lot quicker. But that's always the case with this job. You never really know what each call's going to be like until you actually get to the front door. We shall see when I get there. I'll update you. And just to add insult to injury, it started raining. Had a quick check of the forecast. We've got rain most of the morning. So certainly with that fitted bedroom, trotting to and fro to the van, I think I'm going to be getting a bit wet today. Oh well, never mind. It is what it is. Bloody traffic is terrible this morning. It's taken me half an hour to get out of the built up areas. We're now heading out towards the Marsh Road. Hopefully things will speed up a little bit. I can get my boot down and gain a bit of time back. When I found out a couple of years back that they was getting rid of my normal old truck and downsizing to this van, I was, you know, not overexcited about it. But to be honest, now I don't have to run with a tachograph, so nobody's monitoring the hours that I do, no one's monitoring the speed that I drive. Not that I'd ever drive quick, of course not. It does give you the opportunity to get a bit of a wiggle on and make up some time sometimes, if the traffic would get out of your way. Never mind. We'll see how it goes today. Being on my own, I want to make up as much time as possible so I don't have to rush like a lunatic doing actual deliveries. But that's in the hands of the driving gods, I'm afraid. Crappy weather and a shitload of idiots on the road. Never mind. Right, it is 9:30 and we're at the biggest drop of the day actually, this fitted bedroom. And I don't know if you can see out the window or not. Jackpot, it's a bungalow. So unless they've got a stupid loft conversion, no stairs. Right, get this done. Okay, double result. The rooms are all full up. She said, will it be alright if you put it in the garage? Even easier. The only downside, as I'm sure you can hear, it's pilling rain. I'm going to get wet on this one. but I've got to get that lot and another stack the other side in there. Time to put the snorkel on, I think. Right. Okay, nearly 3/4 of an hour of walking to and fro in that heavy rain. Let's take that off. It's a bit, no, you can hear that. It's a bit soggy. I'm a bit soggy, but still, that's the biggest job of the day done and out the way, and it could have been a lot worse. Next one's a bit of an odd one. A light switch. We don't sell light switches, but we delivered a big sofa to these people last week, and squeezing it in their hallway, we broke the light switch. So we've got them a replacement one. They were very nice about it. They said just, you know, get us the switch and they'll fit it. So that's all cool. So this is going to be the easiest job of the day. Drive just down the road and put a light switch through someone's letterbox. That work, I don't mind. Right, we're on the Sovereign Harbour Estate. This is Harbour North. Quite nice places, but the designers, when they designed them, didn't think about getting furniture in and out. They're a bit of a pain in the arse to deliver to. But nice location. It is just off the beach, which you won't see today because it's too crappy.
You have reached your destination.
This is the one that we want. That big block of flats in front of us. Thank God it's only a light switch this time. It's always the same somewhere like this, and you deliver a sofa, it's always the bloody top floor. It'd be quite pleasant just going in and sticking a light switch through the letterbox instead.
After 80 yards, you have reached your destination.
What number do I want? 124. I think it's this door. Well, that should have been straightforward. How difficult can it be to deliver a light switch? So I rung the bell, no answer, they're not in. There was a note on the ticket, if we have to pop out, please drop it with our next door neighbour. So I ring the next door neighbour from outside, because it's an entry phone type thing, so it's not like you actually get to their door. Next door neighbour's not in either. You couldn't make it up. I was just about to bugger off to the next call, and the alarm bloke turned up to test the fire alarm system for the building, and he had an access code to get in. So he let me in, went up to their front door, don't fit through the letterbox. So I've left it on the doormat propped against the front door. It should be fine. You know, the building's secured from the outside. If someone nicks it, it's one of their neighbours. But I've done my bit. We got there in the end. But yeah, just a bloody light switch. You'd think you'd be there and gone in seconds. But yeah, it doesn't always turn out like that. Right, next job. Next job is going to our Eastbourne shop. I've got a few bits to pick up from Eastbourne, items that have been sold direct from the shop floor, rather than being ordered, because people wanted them, you know, in a hurry. So I've got to pick them bits up, ready to drop off, and I've got on board a few bits to go into the Eastbourne shop to replace them, so there's not gaps in the display. So that should be relatively straightforward, and of course there's someone in the Eastbourne shop to give me a hand, which will be nice. And of course give me time to have a cup of coffee too. Bloody rain still, park sea weather. That's always makes this job a bit more difficult. I mean, I don't mind getting wet, but it's difficult keeping the furniture dry, especially if it's something with quite a highly polished finish. Because of course you get rain spots on it and it leaves little marks on it, and the customer gets a bit narky, which I can understand. But yeah, it makes life difficult delivering in the rain, but I can't stop it. But let's just crack on. Right, heading into Eastbourne town centre now. This roundabout here, people that have followed the channel for a long time might recognise that one. I come and did an overnight camp in a hammock in the middle of that roundabout for a bet a few years back. If you haven't seen the video, I'll stick a card up on the screen. It was quite a laugh. It's not something I'm going to repeat. But yeah, that's the famous roundabout camp. It seems that quite a few people on YouTube are doing it now. But I like to think I was one of the first. But yeah, you see that quite a bit now. Onto the seafront road. Just got to head into the middle of the town because that's where the shop is. The parking will be a pain in the arse like normal, but we'll just make the best of it. At least we're getting on. I've only got like half a load on now. Got all the big stuff out of the way, which is nice. And once I get to the shop, I'll get a chance to dry off a little bit as well. At least the traffic's thinning out a bit now. Just approaching the pier. I'll go just past Eastbourne Pier, then hang a right into town. Bloody chaos down here on a hot sunny day. People on the beach and whatever, but this weather's keeping them all indoors. I suppose that's one advantage of working in the rain. Bloody weather's not getting any better. And add insult to injury, we got someone parked illegally on the shop front, so I can't park the van outside the shop. I've got to walk to and fro in the bloody rain with everything. Bugger. Right, that's the Eastbourne shop stuff collected. Onto here, replacement stuff from here, back on display. A few more things to blanket and tie up. Time to move on to the next job. Right, that's all my Eastbourne jobs complete. Next couple of jobs should be quite straightforward, we hope. They're not deliveries, they're another thing that I get involved in. They're like warranty calls. People that have bought items, they have a problem of some description, but before the manufacturer wants to repair, replace or whatever, we have to do an inspection and if necessary take photographs, do a report, that sort of thing. So now I'm heading across to Bexhill-on-Sea, and I've got to have a look at a lady's, one of them electric lift and rise chairs that the old people have to help them get up and out. It's all working, by her description, but it's making a funny squeaky noise. She's had it since about Christmas, so 6 months on, shouldn't be a problem. They're normally really reliable. If there is an issue, they're normally an issue straight away, so I don't know why this has suddenly started happening after 6 months. I shall find out when I get there, I suppose. So yes, hopefully a straightforward job. Just go and have a look at a squeaky chair and do a report for them.
Cross the roundabout, third exit.
God, the amount of water laying at the side of the road. That's really rained hard this morning. But it looks like it's just about finished now. The sky's getting brighter. Much better. Bloody typical, seeing as the next couple of jobs are all indoors things. And of course it poured hard when I was outdoors, but there we go. That's just what you get, I suppose. Nice to get out of the town traffic, back on the main road. I much prefer the longer range stuff really, where I can just get a bit of a shift on. When I'm doing a lot of town central work, you feel like a glorified bloody taxi driver. You're just going round and round in circles, little short stops, a couple of minutes between each one. But yes, it's nice to get out and have a proper drive. Not too far to the next call. Be about another 15-20 minutes, I suppose. After this nice open bit of road, it is the next built-up area. It's the next town. The call's right in the middle of the town, but I haven't got to worry about parking or whatever because it's only an inspection type job. It's not like I've got to carry anything, so I can just dump the van wherever there's a space. Well, I've parked there. I'm in the right road, but it's one of these residential blocks. I'll find it in a minute. That's the problem. I can fix that, I think. Right, after looking underneath the chair, the cable from the power pack going up through to the motors was too tight on the frame. That was some of the noise, but also there's a residue on the frame from the bolts where the frame flexes as it's being lifted. I think the factory has done up the bolts too tight. I have seen that before. So rather than collect the chair, send it back to the supplier, ladies without a chair for 2 or 3 weeks, whatever, I'm going to try and fix it here and now. Does them a favour, doesn't it? So back to the van, pile of tools, back up. Let's see if I can stop this bloody squeak. Right, that has fixed that. Combination of problems. One, the wiring had been done incorrectly by the factory. They'd routed the cable wrong, done a cable tie up very tight, and the cable was being dragged through the cable tie, making a noise. That half fixed it. And then there was still a bit of noise on it, and it was a fault that I'd seen before. They'd actually done up the bolts on the frame far too tight, where they have to pivot like a scissor action. They do them up too tight and it squeaks and makes a horrible noise. So back them off slightly, problem solved. Happy customer, took me 20 minutes. It saves sending a chair back and her being without it for 3 weeks. So good result. Make no money out of it, it keeps the customer happy. Right, on to the next one. Right, what's next on the agenda? Looks like I am going back to St Leonard's. Got a customer with problems with some dining chairs, wobbly dining chairs. They're old ones, it's not a warranty issue, but they're old customers that we've had for years and we try and look after them. So if it's something I can fix for them, I will. So it's just a courtesy call really, no obligation to do it, but We like to keep people happy. So, right, back to sunny St Leonard's. Hopefully. It has stopped raining now. It's very grey though. But yes, off to the next one. Onwards and upwards and all that. Now, top of this hill, there's a very busy junction, and in theory I should be turning right, but we'll see what the traffic levels are like. If it's too busy, I think I'll go straight over and take the bypass and go round. It's a little bit longer, but probably be faster. Oh no, doesn't look too busy. Okay, I will go right then. It's fun and games when it's icy weather. Harley shoot. Suddenly goes up very steep and not very straight. But all sorts of fun and games trying to get up here in the winter. It's only short, but it's quite steep. The van don't like it when it's fully loaded either. That's it, levelling out now. Thinking about avoiding the schools and that sort of thing. Am I the only one that hates the school run time? It's a right pain in the arse in my job. Because of course home delivery, a lot of it's, you know, in and around towns. And you know, if you're out around 9 o'clock in the morning, or you're trying to deliver any time between sort of 2:30 and 3:30, probably 4 o'clock, the roads are choked up. If you've got to deliver anywhere near a school, they park everywhere, they park all over the bloody pavement, they don't leave you enough room to get through. So of course I turn down a road, blind as it were, get into the road, can't get through the gap, I'm stuck, traffic stuck behind me, just causes bloody chaos. And it's just thoughtless, 9 times out of 10, completely thoughtless parking. Why can't you just park in the next road and walk around the corner? No, you have to park almost outside the gates. Bloody nightmare. Bit of a narrow bit, this rail bridge. It's all right with an oncoming car, but it's a pain in the arse when you meet the bus coming the other way, or you've got a cyclist in front of you. Come on, car. Closer. Only a couple of miles now to this next one. I know where this one is. Been there loads of times. little close off the main road. Plenty of room in there, but it's a bit awkward. I have to back in there, and it means stopping the traffic on the main road and backing across the traffic, which is always entertaining. Not so bad when there's two of you on the van, because your driver's mate can jump out and stop the traffic for you, but it's a bit of an hassle when you're on your own. You just have to bash on the hazard warning lights and hope the drivers get some idea of what you're up to. Time for another rant. These bloody four-way temporary traffic lights on this junction, been here for ages. I've got no idea what they're doing, but the only evidence of them actually doing anything is that motor on the crossroads there on the right with the flashing lights going, with a few cones round it. No evidence of anyone doing any work. So it's been like this for God knows how long, and it's on a main road, four-way lights, so of course it takes a while to cycle through each road having a turn. Oh bloody hell. I'm sure other countries don't do this. They tend to sort of do work overnight and throw a whole load of blokes at it and knock it out quick. But yeah, if it ain't the bloody school run, it's sitting at Poxy Roadworks, and whenever you're sitting at the Poxy Roadworks, there's never anyone actually working. And it's our go! Hurrah! Yeah, that van there, that's the only thing that I can see. It's not even a hole. I mean, there's a little square of tarmac there in the middle of the road, but no evidence of them actually doing anything. Just stopping the traffic for the fun of it, maybe. Knowing our council, I'd never be surprised. Right, this little close is up here on the right somewhere. Where is it? A bit further up. It's not that one. It's not that one. It's this one. Oh, cool. He's twigged. Good man. Now let's get over here, block the road. Traffic behind me stopped. Oh, Muppet Boy in the Fiesta's decided to drive round the van that was blocking the road for me. It's very good of him. Squeeze in here. Bloody hell. It's a bit tight, but we're in. Back down this driveway. It's funny, although this is only classed as a van, it is 27 foot long and 8 foot wide. So getting in some of these places, it is a bit of a squeeze. That'll do. Right, well, that's pretty straightforward. Dining table and 4 chairs. All 4 chairs have got movement in the legs. I think it's just the joints have dried out. The glue does happen sometimes. So I've picked up 2. Obviously left them 2 to sit on. I'm going to take them back to my workshop and strip them, re-glue them and whatever, fix them hopefully, unless I find it's something a bit more serious once I get it apart, and then obviously the firm might replace them. So I'm not even sure if it's a warranty issue or not, because they've had them a while, but I'll put two back together, and then early part of next week I can bring the 2 repaired ones back to them and pick up the other pair to fix if it's something I can do. So that was short and sweet, and it also gives me something to do next week. We'll see what that entails, taking them apart and fixing them. Don't think anything's broken. I think it's literally the joints have dried out, the glue. their kitchen is like a bit of an extension on the back, sort of semi-conservatory like, and it is very warm in there in the direct sun. So with natural wood, of course, it does dry out, it does warp a little bit and that sort of thing. So I'll see if I can fix them. Should be able to. Bit of cheating again. Gone into one of the residential back streets, cutting through here to save going through them epoxy four-way temporary traffic lights again. Not the best of roads and it's got speed bumps, but it's still a lot bloody quicker than sitting at those lights. And it still gets me where I need to be, more or less runs parallel to that other road. So that's all the work that I know of so far for today, which has gone quite well because we're only coming up for 2:30. But because I was not at the warehouse today, we had a delivery come in, and someone's delivered a load of bedroom furniture. And because I wasn't at the warehouse, they've dropped it at the shop. So I've got to go back to the St Leonard's branch and pick up a load of bedroom furniture that's been delivered to them, stick it on this van and run it back up to the warehouse. Right, just round the bend here is the St Leonard's shop, just on the end of the road here on the left. Back onto that shop front and find out how much crap's been delivered here, whether I can even get it all on the van. We shall find out in a minute. That's about level with the door. Let's go and see what the disaster is. Right, that's the stuff that was dropped at the shop, loaded. Should be back to the warehouse now. I thought I was on for an early finish. Then I get a phone call while we're in the shop. Could you just go out and have a look at a customer's chair? Another electric chair with a problem. Totally unrelated one though this time. We had a storm the other night. Power's been off. And sometimes these electric chairs, when they get a power surge, when the electric comes back on, it upsets them. And hers is refusing to work. So I'm now going, out into the countryside, off out into Beckley. So I'm got to cross the border into deepest, darkest Kent. 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Didn't really want this, but hey, it's the job, I suppose. So yeah, off out in the country now. Then I might be able to finish. Well, this is what I was going to try and avoid. Cutting back across town, not only school run time, but of course it's Friday afternoon. Some people finish early, get away for the weekend, that sort of thing. Just when I thought I was finished, I'm heading back out through it, out into the countryside. It's not ideal, but once I get to the outskirts of town, I think I'm gonna hang a right on the A28. It's a quicker road. Have a blast through there, out into the countryside, make up a bit of time. Bloody traffic. I hate traffic. Good job I don't work in the middle of London, not anymore. I just haven't got the patience that I had when I was younger. Down to 5th, down to 4th, down to 3rd. Got to be a bit careful on the corners now because I've got a lot of weight on again, which is a bit of a bugger. Never mind. Once I'm through Westfield here, might be a little bit busy up here where the school is. Depends whether they've kicked out yet. It's 3:15 now. I'm not sure what time the primary school kicks out there. It's always a little bit busy. Don't look too bad up here. Once I'm past this bit, I can get a wiggle on, shall we say. Not to incriminate myself, but you know what I mean. I'm not saying that my foot is going to be hard down, but I might have my toenails in the radiator. Now we're crackling along at a good pace in top gear. A little spell on the straight back there where we were at miles an hour. Luckily the van in front of me has got the same idea. He's probably going home. But there's another little van in front now that's going a bit slower, so it's backed us down again. But we're making progress. That's the point. We're out of the bloody town traffic. I've got another 10 minutes or so, and I should be at this last call to see what's wrong with this lady's chair. It should be an easy fix, hopefully, and then I can go home. This twisty bit. I much prefer being out in the country. Beats inching along in the bloody town traffic, and the roads are more interesting. So I've got slow ones in front of me. Down to 5th, now down to 4th. It's a bit of a climb, this hill. It's all right for them. I've probably got a little bit more weight on than they have. She's oh yeah, we're struggling in 4th gear when it gets steeper. Down another. Down into 3rd. Yeah, I think she's going to pull it in 3rd. Won't have to shuffle any lower. Well, that fast van I was tailing, he's turned off. I'm just stuck behind this little slow one now, which is a bit of a bugger. Still, not that you can go too fast down this hill. It's quite steep and windy. Not too bad coming down it, but after I've done this call, I've got to come back up here with a lot of weight on. So yes, that'll be a bit of a slow grind back up this one. But if no one in the way, I might get a bit of a run up and see how we go. As long as I don't get someone slow like him in front of me. That is the other advantage now, downsizing to this large van rather than my old truck. No speed limiter. Where having a truck nowadays, you're limited to normally 56 miles an hour, 54 on some of them. Where this, of course, is unlimited. So you can make hay when the sun shines, shall I say. As long as you're not going uphill loaded. Well, I've made it by, what is it, it's 25 to 4. Hopefully this is a quick fix and I can be home by about 5 o'clock. Just never know what you're going to find until you get in there. Wish me luck. Right, that's that done. Quick sorting of the electrics and factory reset. She's happy bunny. Time to turn and burn when I find someone to turn round. I think I've got to the roundabout here and spin round that if it's big enough. Can we get round here? If I cut wide I might be able to. No one coming? Might have to take a little bit of curb. Oh no, just done it. just enough room. Let's get out of here. Right, because I'm racing the clock and I want to avoid the traffic, I'm going to take a shortcut home. It might be a good idea and it might not. It will cut off miles, but it's a very narrow road. If I meet something big coming the other way, I'm screwed. Time to roll the dice. Right. Committed. No options. Certainly nowhere to turn round down here. And it just gets tighter and tighter the further on you get. Like I say, if it's only... Whoa, whoa. Breathe in. Oh, I'm through, just. Yeah. And that was just a car. If I meet a big van or a truck or a tractor or something, it's like, oh my god. Never mind. All we can do is plough on. I feel like I'm driving with one eye now, because I had to get in the hedge there and it's folded my near side mirror in. So I've only got my driver's side mirror now, which, you know, if anyone used to driving a big vehicle, you heavily rely on your mirrors. And it's very strange to have one folded in. Like I say, it feels like driving with one eye shut. But let's just get through here. It's only a mile or so, but it lops off a huge amount. Just got to keep your fingers crossed. Don't know quite how well it sort of looks on camera, but I'm having to be, you know, out on the white line. So obviously if you get something big coming the other way doing the same thing. Oh shit. Oh, there's a driveway there. Oh, and he's turning off. Superb. Well, that's helped. Let him come past as well. It's a bit wider on this little bit by this driveway. Superb. Not far now. Up through this little narrow wiggle. I'm back out on the main road again. That's paid off. That's cut off a good bit of distance for me. Saved me a bit of time. Thank you. Get back out on this junction, which is bloody horrible because it's quite blind. Back on the A28. Let's get home. Time to get the hammer down. Have a good run down this hill into the valley. If I can hit the bottom of the valley at a reasonable amount of pace, shall we say, without incriminating myself, it shouldn't be too bad going up the other side. But the other side is very steep, and like I said, I've got a lot of weight on now of all that stuff I had to pick up at the shop. Don't want anyone getting in the way. Back off a bit for the corner. Clear, right, look down. Start the climb. Down to 5th. Oh shit, didn't expect him to come out of there. Down to 4th. Backing off because I saw that van pull it out. I've lost momentum now. Down to 3rd. I'm going to change to 2nd. Oh no, I think it's just going to do it in 3rd. We're up. last climb. Just coming back into the edge of town, over an area they call the Ridge, for obvious reasons. I'm going uphill, over the top, and then down into the town. And I can put the van in a warehouse and forget about it for a few days. It's the weekend! Well, it might not be when you're watching this, but hey, it is for me. Friday night, I'm heading home. Back to the sunshine. And back to the yard. Down the bumpy track. Just got to stuff this old tank in the warehouse, and then I'm off home. Right, shoehorn it in there. Squeeze it between the carpet rack and the ladders. We're in. Well, it's another day and a week done. Not too physical today. Quite mentally tiring though, all that charging about. But it's over now. It's time for the weekend. So if you watched this far, well done. Thank you for coming along on a day's trip with me. No 2 days are the same. I never know what I'm going to get into when I can open the door first thing in the morning. But hey, it's what keeps me going, I suppose. All fun and games. Thanks for being a co-driver. I'll see you soon.